Let me just start the recording. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a short introduction on how to access HPC infrastructure and the various training opportunities that are available the NCC. So I'm going to talk about accessing resources and the training opportunities that we have. So access to resources and the resources that the Cyprus Institute offers, which is Cyclone, as I mentioned earlier, is through preparatory access and production access, which I'll give more details to later. And there's European ways of accessing resources on bigger machines through PRACE, PRACE Preparatory Access, the HPC Program, and PRACE Project Access. And soon we will have EuroHPC calls on those big systems that we talked about that EuroHPC has purchased. Those will be, the calls will be handled by PRACE, it seems. It's still in negotiation. So I'll give you an insight as to those calls because they're close to finalization and I was in the group that was creating those different calls. And I'll give you an overview of the training opportunities that we offer in the next years as the National Competence Center and the training events that are available in Europe as well. So as I said earlier, access to the Cyprus Institute's HPC system Cyclone is through preparatory access and production access, which I'll give more details to now. The system that you'll get access on is Cyclone, which we mentioned earlier. It's a system with 17 40-core compute nodes. So there's 17 computers, let's say, with 40 cores each. And there's also 16 nodes, 16 computers, which have, again, also 40 cores each, but with 4 NVIDIA GPUs inside. There's also a lot of memory in each of those computers, in each of those nodes. There's 96 gigabytes of memory for those 40 cores in each system. And overall, there's about 192 gigabytes of memory on the whole system. It's a Linux-based system, and you will actually get access to it tomorrow. Your accounts were created, and you'll get to see the environment of it tomorrow. George will present this. Now, PRACE Preparatory Access. Preparatory Access at the Cyprus Institute is available via that link. It's open and remains open all the time. You can submit anytime you wish. And after you submit, your application will be looked at in the next day or so, and you'll get access to the system within a week if your application is successful, which they generally are. Now, access to preparatory access is given for scalability testing, development and optimization, with or without support. So scalability testing, I'll show an example later, is when you get scaling plots, which show how fast your code runs as you add more resources to it. So as you increase the amount of cores your code is running on, how much faster is it running? It's the benchmarking of your code as you scale up to use more cores and more nodes to run your code. Code development and optimization is when you need some time so you can test while you're improving the efficiency of your code or porting it to run on GPUs or to run more efficiently or changing the algorithm or whatever. Now, through the EuroCC project, we have a high-level support team, which is able to help groups with this development and optimization. But please first send us an email at CaSToRC.support@cya.ac.cy to see if we are able to support you. So if we have enough staff at that time and if need be, if they have the expertise, the scientific expertise to help you, because technical expertise, I'm sure they do have. So in preparatory access, the application procedure is very simple. The proposals are assessed only technically, and you get access to the system really quickly. So if I can show you really quickly the system. So if we go to the CaSToRC website and we go to access to resources here, there's preparatory access here. And if you click on it, then you get access to our online application form on the system. So this is our application system. It's online, and there's, as it says here at the start, there's two types of access available: preparatory access for projects which require between 5 to 20,000 core hours, or 500 to 2,000 GPU hours. Production access is for more ready projects which carry out a research goal. And the limits of that is at least 50,000 CPU hours and at least 50,000 GPU hours. So you first need to make an account on this system to log in. So create an account, and then the process to create your account is easy. Now I'm going to log in to show you what you see. Now currently the default access method, the default access method is production access. So when you enter the system, you will access production access mode. No. This is so that this is because we're in the middle of a peer review of our production access. So what you must do to submit a preparatory access is go to the top here, top left-hand corner, and select Cyclone HPC Preparatory Call. I am going to go to my submitter role, and then you will be able to create a make a new application here. And I'm just going to show you the application form. The application form is extremely easy. Okay, you just need to submit a title, your research field, just give us some information on how you learned about the call. And if you've attended any of our training events, and if you would like to get information on our future calls, so when they open and such. Here, please provide us details of your application, if it's for scalability testing or code development. I'll give a bit of detail on scalability testing in a bit. And yeah, just tick that here that you want access to Cyclone. Please provide us with your details. So your name, your department, your email, so we can contact you, and details of your collaborators. It's important to add details of your collaborators, and as people who are listed in this preparatory application form will get accounts on the system. So please include everyone who will need an account. Summary of your project. So please give us a short introduction on why you need the access. So as an example, you will write, I need some time so I could carry out benchmarking on my code and get a scalability plots that I need. Or I need some time because I am developing my code and I would like to see how it will run on the system, and so on. Again, it's not long, it's about 200 words, which is a couple of paragraphs. Please also provide us with some details on the scientific background of your project. So what your group is working on, what is the purpose of this access. So, you know, just so that we know our user community. Next, you're requested to provide details on the amount of resources that you need. So the computational resources. whether those are CPU hours or GPU hours or both, the amount of storage that you will need for your account. The default is 20 gigabytes, but you can ask for more, and we'll see if we can accommodate it. If it's a bit more, then it's not a problem. But if it's a lot more, then we will have to look at ways of helping you out. Please also provide us details on the number of files that will be created and the number of the amount of RAM that you will need. You are then requested to provide details on the application software that you will use. So is it your own code that you are working on? Is it a package like Romax or whatever? Just please provide us some details. One important thing to note here is that if the software that you will use is licensed, so if it's from a company that requires a license for it to run, this license must be provided by yourselves, so from the user. And you need to give it to us, to our administration team, once your application has gone through, so they can test that the license is correct, it's the correct license to run on a HPC system, and that we can install it so that the software runs correctly. Next, you're asked to provide some details about the algorithms that are used and the parallelization that is used by your code. If it uses MPI, CUDA, whatever. Please provide as much details as you can. And also please provide details on the optimization work that will be carried out. So on the work that will be carried out during the 6 months of the preparatory access project. So this is basically the application form for preparatory access. It's nothing difficult. If you need help, then contact the contact CaSToRC.support or contact the High Performance Computing Facility. Their email, I believe, is at the start. Yeah, their email is there. So if you need any help with filling in the form, then go ahead. But please remember that this is a very loose review process, so we're not very strict. We're not strict at all with these applications, as we want people to gain access to the system and enable the code as much as possible. And we want this so that later they can access our next call, which is production access. Now, production access is for projects which require a lot more time to carry out a research project, computational research project. There's 2 calls for production access each year. The previous one closed at the end of January, and the next one should open July to September. Well, July or August it will open. And the access to this is again on Cyclone. This is a more involved process though, because the applications will go through scientific review, and they will also go through a technical review. So what happens is, after we receive applications, we look at them that they are correct. That's the administrative review. And we ask for applicants for more details if any are missing. The applications are then looked at technically to see that they can, that the software can run on the system, that the code is scalable, and that basically the applicants have are able to run and use all the resources that they have requested on the system. Now, project peer review or scientific review is when the applications are sent to scientific reviewers to be assessed scientifically by people who work in the same field, and they're possibly the same problem. Well, mostly the same problem as the application in question. So what the scientific reviews do is basically look at the project and judge the science behind project. So is this new science? Is this going to lead to something that will be useful in the future? and so on. So it's essentially the same as submitting a paper to a conference. That's what the scientific reviewers do. They judge the science behind the applications. After everything goes through, the applicants have the right to reply to any issues that have been brought forward by either the technical reviewers or the scientific reviewers. And then the resource allocation panel looks at all the applications with their reviews and the right to reply. And then it decides on how the resources available in the call will be distributed among all the applications that were successful. Now, as I said, these applications are more detailed. So the application form online on the system is similar to what I showed you for preparatory access. What is different in this application mode is that applicants will also need to include a detailed document, which I would demonstrate now. So in this document, they provide more details about their project, the scientific goals of the project. So what the project aims to achieve scientifically at the end of the project. How they will manage their resources requested. So what experiments they will be carrying out throughout the year of their access, and what experiments they will be carrying out in each of the months. This is mostly for us to know that you have thought about your project well and that you are prepared for your project. We ask details of your application software, similar to preparatory access, but please give us more detail here. So if it's licensed, if it's written by yourselves, what software packages you may be using, and so on. We also need details of why this project needs to run on a HPC system and not on a laptop or a workstation, for example. So again, this is for mature projects which cannot run on a few nodes, one or two, and which require large computational resources. And we also request from people a speed up table to show us that their code and that the experiments they will be carrying out is scalable. So if a person runs on 8 computational nodes, that it actually will be using it correctly. Let me see if I can give you an example of this. 1 minute, I'm looking at previous applications. So a scaling plot that people may get access for in preparatory access is a plot which shows that as the number of resources increases, so does equivalently the number of the amount of time needed to solve the problem. So in this example, which is online and you can access it through our system, as they increase the number of GPUs, so does the amount of time that is needed to compute the problem decreases. And we basically need people to carry out these runs to identify where it's suitable for them to run on. So the number of nodes or the number of GPUs that is suitable to run on. As you can see in the example here, if they go from 1 GPU to 2 GPUs, the speed up they get is 1.9. So they require about 1.9 less time, approximately. If they go from 1 GPU to 4, their speed up is 3.6, which is good because it's very close to 4. If they go from 1 to 8, it's 5.3, which is sort of okay. Not great, but it's sort of okay. But if they go from 8 to 16, their speed up is only from 5.3 to 5.9. It's clear from these data that it's sort of okay. It's very efficient to use 4 GPUs. It's sort of okay to use 8 GPUs, but it's not okay to use 16 GPUs because you're doubling the resources, but your speed up is extremely low. So in this case, a technical reviewer would accept if the group wanted to use 4 GPUs or 8 GPUs, but they wouldn't accept the group using 16 GPUs. So this is an example of a scaling plot that we require from applications. And then finally, in the production access detailed documents, we require from the applicants to give us an overview of their HPC experience, and then a justification of the amount of hours that they're requesting. So here they will say that we're going to run experiment A 50 times, and each time requires 5,000 CPU hours. So that's a total of 25,000 hours. We're going to run another experiment so many times with so much total core hours. And our grand total is basically that we're requesting. So we want here in this last section a justification of all the hours that are requested by applicants. So that was production access. These are details of what the reviewer will assess, the scientific reviewer. As I said earlier, it's similar to submitting a paper. They judge the science behind the application. And that's why it's important to treat your application in the same way. You need to provide as much detail as you can so that it's clear and concise to the scientific reviewer, the scientific goals of your application, because only the best application scientifically will get access in the system. And here are 2 examples that you can look at online. Now, I'm going to go really quickly. So PRAISE also provides similar access. It's called PRAISE Preparatory Access in the same way as we provide preparatory access. It's just on different systems and larger systems, and you'll be able to get more time on them. Their key access is similar to our production access, but it is on systems which are bigger than ours, so bigger than Cyclone. PRAISE project access, again, is similar to production access, but it's open for people who want to get access to the currently biggest HPC systems in Europe. And there's 7 systems that we have here that people get access to. It's the one in Barcelona, the 3 in Germany, 1 in France, 1 in Switzerland, and 1 in Italy. These are systems that are at most 20 petascales, 20 petaflop systems. And as we said earlier, the EuroHPC joint undertaking has acquired systems, and they will be providing access to computational researchers in the same way as PRAISE production access, PRAISE project access, I'm sorry, on their new systems. Now these calls will possibly start in March, definitely September. It depends on the systems that come through. The first is systems that will give access to these calls are the petascale systems, so the ones that are about 20 to 50 petaflops. And there's also different types of calls that will go through. There's so this slide is hasn't been approved yet. Okay, so don't think that these are the final ways that people will get access to EuroHPC systems. These are still in progress. I'm showing them to you now because I have access to them. So there's benchmark access, which is basically preparatory access for scaling plots. Development access, similar. It's preparatory access for development purposes. It's between 1 to 5 million core hours. Fast track access was designed and it's basically for emergencies. So if some projects need emergency access to a HPC system, they can get access via the fast track method and do their computations. Now, this emergency might be, and it has to be an emergency. It might be, for example, what we had for COVID. So when COVID struck, what Prace did was that within 2 weeks, they created a fast track access on the systems, and people applied to get access on the large Prace systems to carry out research against COVID, okay? And so this is similar. So access for pandemics will go under fast track. Another example is if there's a fire in the middle of Europe and we want to simulate and predict how the fire will spread. This is something of an extreme emergency. So the relative organization will get access to a system really quickly. And, you know, so there's no extensive review process. Well, there is a review process, but it will occur within a couple of days. And they will get access as soon as possible to carry out the simulation. The next one is general access for between 20 million to 75 million CPU hours. This is similar to Praise project access. Again, these will go through a scientific review and a technical review for sure. An extreme scale application process will be for extremely large projects which require more than 75 million CPU hours or the relative amount in GPU. So these three, extreme scale and enabling and general access, are similar to what the Praise project access and the production access that we have here, in the sense that the applications will go through an extensive technical and scientific review, and only the best applications scientifically and technically will get access to the systems. I think I've covered this. So training opportunities, I'm going to go quickly on this because I'm taking longer than I thought. So we have designed a number of training events based on the feedback that we've received from the community, from the survey that we have sent out. We have a number of training events that we've designed, the beginner one that we have here, intermediate one in April, a hackathon which will be in May. In the hackathon, we will basically invite, well, we will open up a call for computational groups to come here, and we will help them with the code to, well, basically overcome any issues that they may have. Ideally, we'll do this at the Cyprus Institute. Otherwise, if we can't because of the pandemic, then we will do our best for this to occur online. In March, first week of March, we have our industry week. The industry week has 4 different days. The first day, let me bring this up on. So if you go to the CaSToRC website and you go under events, news and events, we have the industry week here. That's 1st of March. 1st of March will, well, the whole event is 4 different events. It's entrepreneurs and industrial gathering. We have workshops, a hackathon, and a user forum. The user forum is basically when we invite various speakers to talk about various aspects of work that they do. Let's go to the schedule at the bottom. So we will introduce the Competence Center and the CMEA project. We'll provide details on accessing infrastructure and training opportunities. So this basically same talk. The opportunities that you have for support as academia or as industry, and collaborations that can be built up between the Competence Center, between government and industry, And then it will be a user forum open discussion. So this is when you, the users of the Competence Center, give us your feedback on what we offer you, on what you would like us to offer you, what we're doing correctly, what we're doing badly. So this is your forum basically to tell us of what you think we should be providing you if we're not doing it correctly, or if there's something extra we should be providing you, or what we're doing well, please. The Tuesday is the Entrepreneurs Industrial Gathering, when industry and academia meet together and hopefully network and get to know each other. And this will hopefully lead to future collaborations between academia, industry, and government on various projects. Wednesday and Thursday is more industry oriented. So these are one-on-one workshops with industry and various companies that we're in touch with. As I said, there will be an academic hackathon later on, which will be in May. So please keep in mind that we will have a call out for a hackathon. So for groups, academic groups to apply, and our high-level support team will be able to assist them in any issues that they face with their code and their programs and so on. Now, in September, we have our advanced simulation event. As I said earlier at the beginning, we have structured our training events so one builds on the other. So today's event, beginner training event, we had a beginning to HPC, beginners session on HPC and a beginner's session on AI and machine learning algorithms. Now, in September, we have our advanced HPC event. Sorry, let me give you the schedule or an overview, sorry, of the intermediate event that we have. That will be in April. We will cover various aspects, building on what we learn, what you will learn today and tomorrow and on Wednesday. We will have sessions in MPI, OpenMP, and hybrid programming. So when we use MPI for parallel programming on multiple nodes, and when we combine MPI and OpenMP at the same time for hybrid programming. And then Simona will give us a session, a full day on Python for HPC, and then some more specific aspects of HPC programming and profiling will be presented. Now, our advanced event in September will build on this. So in the first day, we will have GPU programming, which is advanced type of programming for HPC. And we will have more in-depth sessions on AI, machine learning. So what we had earlier by Nikos and by Christos was very introductory. We'll have more details in this day 2 of the event. Day 3 and day 4 would be on simulation. And there's other, no, I've covered this. So we also have a seminar series every Tuesday where various scientists present their research, their scientific research. So again, if you go on the CaSToRC website, here, if you click on this, you can see the timetable of the various talks that are scheduled up till April. The Zoom link is different to the one that we're using now, okay? So the Zoom link is in the PDF. So for tomorrow's session, go on the CaSToRC website, click on this banner, you get the PDF, and you can click on the Zoom link to join the seminar at 4. These are the ones scheduled for April till the end of April, and we have other ones scheduled for months after. This PDF will be updated soon. Now for European training opportunities, there's the PRAISE training events. So if you click on this website here, there I'll show you real quick. So PRAISE has about 10. So PRAISE has about 10 training centers. And if you go to Praise, to this link here, events.praise.ri.eu, and Praise training events, Praise training centers here, then you can see all the events that are going to happen in the future and that have happened in the past. So there's about 100 events each year, spanning various topics and levels. So you can go on this website, find the events that may be of interest to you and register for them. I believe I have, yeah, so I have this link here. There's also the Summer of HPC program that people can apply to. This is basically summer internships to HPC centers in Europe for people to apply and work on a computational project throughout the summer. It's mostly focused on undergraduates. I believe that applications for this program are available now, and people can follow that link there, summerofhpc.praise.ri.eu, to look at the projects that are available in 2021 and apply for them if they're eligible. We used to have this program where people used to physically go to different countries, but due to the situation, last year it was online, and most likely it will be this year too. There's also other links you can look for training events. There's a Focus COE training events. Focus COE is basically centers of excellence for HPC applications, whether that is geophysics or chemical modeling or biomedical research, and they carry out specialized in their field training events, which people can follow. And there's also the HPC in Europe portal, which is currently still under development, and all this information about training events and events in Europe and so on will be collected in one place, which there's the link of there. So these are important links that I have there. I would also like to promote one event that you might want to attend to. If you go to the events website for Praise and go to Praise conferences, there will be a conference, which is the biggest academic, let's say, European HPC conference. It's called the European HPC Summit Week. It will be online between 22 of March to 26th of March. And basically, people will present their work they've carried out using HPC systems. And there will also be discussions on the HPC ecosystem and what the future will be and so on. So I believe that registration is free and people can attend to it as many days as they want. It's meant to be 5 days, but you can select which sessions to follow. So registration for this will open soon. So please keep this in mind if you want to attend and follow. And please let me know if you have any questions and I can answer them now. So we have no questions? Oh, we have, hold on. So, hold on. Christo, can you tell me if there's a question or something, or somebody raised their hands because I can't see it here? No, there's no.
I don't see anyone, no.
Okay, so thank you everyone for your attention. Let's take a 10-minute break and let's all meet back here at 5 to 3 for the next session, which is Simone's session on, sorry, Simone.
Yeah, on basics of high performance computing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So we're back here at 5 to 3. Please, everyone be on time. Thank you very much.